Hello, kitten. Hello and welcome back to Art Therapy with Jen. Today I'm working in my Dark Dystopian themed magazine collage art journal. And if this is your first time tuning in to this series on my channel, what I do is each week I do a page in the journal, which is a new chapter exploring the theme and stories in this dark dystopian world. So we do magazine collage, but also like to kind of do an imagination exercise where we see what story or what characters or what this page is trying to tell us about this world. There's no right or wrong answers. We just have fun with it and, exercise our imagination a little bit along the way. Now I'm just flipping through all my pages here to get myself reacquainted with this journal again. That's something I like to do, kind of get the feeling back on the journal before I start gluing things down. And if you'd like to see the other pages or chapters in this journal, I do have a playlist. I'll link it above as well as down below, so you can check it out kind of from the beginning or just however you would like. Some things we think they might connect between different chapters, but they don't have to. Each page can kind of stand on its own. So as usual, I'm going to get started on my blank page with my background. And I've just gone through my stash and I set my images all around and just kind of pick from them intuitively. And oh my goodness, y'all, I think this is chapter 19. My goodness. If y'all have been with me the whole way, thank you so much. I can't believe we're getting close to the end of this journal. And for some reason, I don't do this very often, but I just had this whole page and I was like, you know what? I'm going to stick that on that right page there. And something I like to do when I'm putting down these really big images, especially when I have a smaller glue stick, I glue like the first third and then I stick the page down and you can see there I do the remaining 2/3 and then I kind of smooth it down. That seems to help with me because glue stick, a wonderful thing about it, but also it can be a detriment, is that it dries fairly quickly. So I find that if I try to saturate that whole page before I put it down, sometimes that first part will start drying and then I'm ending up having to like fold it back and re-glue it anyway. I don't know, that's just me. And it also helps me to place it because I am the world's worst at putting things down crooked. That's another reason I like this glue. You can kind of shift stuff a little bit, but it's so much easier to try to place that like top part of the image and shift it around than trying to do like the whole page stuck down. And then you get like a lot of bubbles and wrinkles. I don't learn from my mistakes, y'all. And then I'm just going around. I had this building that I had fussy cut a million years ago that I cut in half and kind of put on there. And I don't know, it gives me building. It also gives me like spaceship vibes. I love it. And then just making a border around the page to just add some more visual interest. And then this girl fell out of my background images pile. And I'm like, she needs to go on there. Even though we're not at that step yet, buddy, I'm going to put her on there because she's going to tell us the story. So let's take a look at what we're working with after the background step. And then let's add the rest of the characters here, or focal images, whatever you want to call it. Now this was a very neat kind of pivotal moment in this journey. So I don't know what this box is for. It was in some like home interior type magazine. I don't know. It's kind of too big to be a phone booth. And why would you have a phone booth nowadays anyway? Unless it's for a sinister phone, right? Or maybe it's one of those completely red phones that has some like important purpose. I don't know. Y'all remember the old shows? Like it always was like the phone was completely red and all those things. But anyway, I saw the box and I thought it was very interesting because we had that theme of the factory, the bunker, all that. And then I had this image of a girl holding this flower that's kind of encased in ice or just in some, I don't know, mystical capsule, if you will. And confession time, I had kind of messed up trying to fussy cut her face, but then I saw that she fit perfect in this box here. And we've had that theme throughout with the flowers occasionally. And I kept wondering, what do these flowers represent? Like, why are there all these flowers? And again, no right or wrong answers, but I think, to me, the flowers represent that, how do we say it, kind of a, not quite free will, but we've seen a lot of these throughout these pages, kind of leading people to behave a certain way, kind of manipulation gets stuck in these points. And the flower kind of represents that organic part of people that kind of go with their instincts instead of being led, if that makes sense. That's kind of what the garden is. And when I first started this journal, I thought it was something quite literal, like a literal, village that was destroyed or something. But what if that natural resource is actually within you? Does that make sense? Hopefully y'all can kind of read between the lines. I'm not good at explaining myself that way. And then I found that cool stop sign at the front that has the flowers growing all over it. So you have kind of that manufactured, metal sign with these flowers still trying to grow over it. So it's kind of that, maybe those flowers are like that little voice in your head that's like, you know what I mean? So let's put down some words. So we have, after 600 years, a family sanctuary endures formidable despite its battle scars. And then under that, we're going to put, the point of making mistakes, after all, is that you learn from them. And then I'm going to kind of Frankenstein two words together under that, to the left of our little box bunker thing there. And I'm going to put vanishing with inside. So vanishing inside. So to me, the factory is all about, I guess, kind of reprogramming in a way, kind of killing off that flower, if you will. And not even through such overt ways. It's very easy to suggest things to people. And I won't get into it too much because when we do the final flip through, I'll do a long version and a short version. And the long one, I'll kind of tell y'all kind of where my mind was at with all of this. But toward the top right, we have, I've learned failure is not permanent. Then we have fighting hard. And then toward the bottom right there, I have that cool robot hand I found. I think it was like a Terminator ad or something. And I just think it's this overreaching, kind of just reminding that there is this presence, that this nefarious presence still afoot. But I'm kind of Frankenstein two together. It says, I'm still hearing the call. So we had a couple pages back where we showed that kind of refuge place for like deprogramming, where we have that hand that was kind of reaching out to her. And I think this kind of continued through. We have this hand that, you still, I guess it kind of represents those flashbacks or that kind of pull that you feel from things you've been through. And to me, this girl is the same person. I think she was perhaps someone who aided with these things that were going on. And she woke up, and now she kind of, she went through, she was able to, wake up from all of that and see what was really going on. And then on the right, we see her, she's, I guess, making an effort to, keep those flowers alive in people. Because as it says, the point of making mistakes, after all, is you learn from them. And she was somebody who aided in that. And decided she saw what was really going on and couldn't live with it anymore. Now, bless her heart, she's out in the snow and everything. And I'm not sure. I think there may be some type of deeper meaning to all this like frozen motif, especially with the flower, because of course these flowers cannot survive in ice and things. Curious to see what y'all think about that. But it just kind of hit me when I was making this. It was just... Oh, and that flower is in a block of ice that the girl's holding through the box or the bunker there. Interesting. I don't know. I like these pages because I can look at them even afterwards, and I see different things that I didn't see before. So it's just interesting. And I'm just going to be going around with some gel pens, some Sharpie with the border there, just adding some like visual texture, bringing attentions to certain things. And y'all know I like to doodle with my pens and my Sharpies and all that fun stuff, because why not? Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. Wherever the page takes me, right? But I found this was an interesting transition. And it just made sense to me. That's what the flowers were. It's just that inner part, absent of all external influences, absent of all, like those influences like marketing, peer pressure, things you were raised to behave in a certain manner and do things in a certain order, and be a certain way, or you have to emulate this type of cookie cutter thing. And when in this dystopian journal they take it even further. We have this factory that it almost gives me vibes of like a charm school, or much more sinister one, of course, but just the ways that get people to behave a certain way, do things a certain way, provide certain types of labor, just become very compliant, easy people. Because to me, that's I'm learning, kind of exploring this theme that this is, a fantasy dystopian type journal, but when I would think, how would someone come in here and achieve this kind of totalitarian, hopefully I said that right, type of thing and all of this, and I think it would be done in a much more subtle manner to slowly shape and kill off those flowers over time in a way that you don't even realize that it's happening, and in a way that our, I guess, antagonist, or our mastermind that we found out truly profits off of it, with you not even knowing that it happens, and there's someone that you think is actually out for your best interest. We got deep on this one, y'all. We got deep. But this journal, I didn't realize it was going to be such a kind of thought exercise for me, and I can't wait. I think we have 3 or 4 more pages after this one, and then we'll do the flip through, and I'll really go into kind of all the mental gymnastics this journal has brought me through. This has been an interesting experience, and I love that y'all are joining in for it. And I've also, some of y'all have given some great insights into what you're seeing, and it's just been absolutely wonderful. But thank y'all so much for watching. This will conclude chapter 19. I don't know what I'm going to call it, y'all. Fighting hard, failure's not permanent, making mistakes, vanishing inside. I don't know. Y'all will know though by the time the title happens. I just kind of look, like I said, I just go with it. I wish I was cool enough and skilled enough to be able to plan things out, but it's kind of interesting to always look back and see where your intuition, not tuition. Tuition's evil. I paid that stuff off. It took me over a decade, but intuition kind of took you, and you look back through and you're like, oh my goodness, I did place that there and that works. And I just find it a really neat and thoughtful exercise. What do y'all think about the flowers? What do y'all think? Again, I'm always curious, and I thank y'all so much. And I think this is the last dystopian video y'all will see before Thanksgiving next week. So if you celebrate Thanksgiving or just any type of harvest holiday, or just time to be thankful, I hope y'all having a wonderful holiday. I'm going to be attempting a couple new recipes, so wish me luck. But thank y'all so much, and I will see y'all next week with a new chapter in this journal. Thank you so much. Bye guys.